So you remember this Pontiac we showed you the other day? It's here on the chopping block in Albertville, Tennessee. And we did that video. I did that video hoping against hope that, oh, at least somebody saved the radio out of it. I did that video hoping that by some miraculous happenstance somebody would see this and perhaps save this car. It didn't happen. I didn't think it was going to happen. We'll be able to shut anyway. So this morning as I'm riding to work, I'm on my motorcycle, I'm passing here, and I see that they've already started cutting on the car. And it's like, oh man, it's hard to watch that, right? And it's not because necessarily I'm attached to that car, or I'm a Pontiac guy, or I'm just an old car guy, and I am an old car guy, right? But it's not so much that, but really what that represents. And I think a lot of people are lost on that, okay? So it's a hard video to make. It's actually almost a risky video to make given the current circumstances of the world, and we'll get to that later on. And I gotta head some of you guys off the pass right now. I'm like, I see it in the comments, stick to cars, stick to things you know about, right? Go away, just go away. I don't care. Just go away. The rest of you who are kind of on the same page that I am, right? I want to explain why that is significant and why this actually bothers me, right? So you'll get people that will festoon themselves with American flags. They'll wear flags on their clothes, and they'll hang it from their house and their business, and they put stickers on their cars and their trucks. And America first, America, America, America. But yet, they don't even give that thing a second thought, a second glance. And they do this whole America, America. I'd shoot my mom before I'd let the corner of the flag touch the ground, blah, blah, blah. But yet, they don't even look at that. And these same people jump on their Harley Davidson or their F-150 and think they're doing like the American thing. I have Harley Davidsons, right? And when I buy Harley Davidsons, the parts for these bikes are made in another country by other people, right? The profit is going to a different place, right? That's not America, okay? That's not America. We're not America anymore. You know, see, or at least we're not the America that we all, you know, take pride in, right? You know. So let me explain. Let me explain. If you go back to when that car was built, here in this country by Americans, every bit of that car, the steel, the rubber, the glass, just everything, all of it, all of the components, everything that makes up that car was built here. It was made here, it was refined here, it was processed here. It was built by Americans for the American market. It was a unique, well, America is a very unique place. And the cars of this era, the American cars of this era, represented our uniqueness. They represented our power, our strength. You know, we were really exceptional, and we proved it in a couple of world wars, where it was like, you know, go ahead, gang up on us, right? We got you covered. America was an amazing place, and these cars represented that. But it all started to change almost immediately after that car was built. That's in 1868. And a couple of unrelated things, seemingly unrelated things, occurred immediately after that. Both of them happened in 1971. So on August 15th, 1971, Nixon closed the gold window to international redemption, meaning that the dollar was no longer convertible directly to gold in the international market. You could buy and sell gold, obviously, but you couldn't just take your dollars and swap them for gold, which returned our already kind of fiat currency, because things had happened before that, into a truly free-floating fiat currency that actually had no value whatsoever. At the same exact time, Nixon started normalizing relations with China. This is literally at the same exact time. Diplomatic stuff going back and forth. And on February 12th, I think it was 1972, he made a trip to China. What does all of this have to do with that car and America? Well, it's simple. Using the fiat currency along with generation after generation of really abstract, really convoluted economic vehicles, China basically started a 50-year plan, and here we are exactly 50 years later, to take over, to win an economic war with the United States. And they've done it. And you can't deny what is going on now. You can't look, okay, you can't go shopping, you know, without inflation, without shortages. There's baby food shortages, there's deaf fuel shortages, there's diesel shortages, there's wheat shortages, there's every kind of shortage under the sun and every kind of excuse you could think of to blame, okay, well that's because of this and this is because of that and blah, 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 blah. But the bottom line is that all of our troubles stem from the fact that we're no longer a manufacturing economy. We haven't been a manufacturing economy in a long time. Immediately after that Pontiac was built and these steps taken in 1971 and 1972, immediately after that, all hell started breaking loose. And over the course of the next 50 years, we devolved from the most powerful manufacturing base in the world, right? We devolved from a country where an average person working an average job could afford a house and a nice car and feed their spouse and their 2.4 kids and their nuclear family and actually have weekends off and take vacations and so on and so forth, to a point where we manufacture absolutely nothing. All of our, we've been gutted, and we've been gutted for a long time. And it takes two people working two full-time jobs to support just a typical middle-class lifestyle, and that's slipping further and further from the possibility all the time. And again, like I said, you just watch the news, right? This isn't conspiracy stuff. Watch the news. There's shortages of everything. Now they're saying there's 10 weeks, actually it's like probably 9 weeks now, until there's like just massive food shortages because there's, quote, no wheat. We're in deep, deep trouble, right? And I think a lot of you guys realize that. And again, see, I'm talking about the events of 1971 and that 50-year period that brought us to where we are now, where we're no longer the greatest manufacturing powerhouse in the world, no longer the greatest military powerhouse in the world, where we're a consumer society. Beginning in 1971, with the unleashing of the dollar, the decoupling of the dollar, we transitioned from manufacturing powerhouse to consumer sniveling weakling. We have nothing here that isn't imported. We're in a lot of trouble. And it's going to get worse. And you guys really need to do your homework and really need to figure out how to cover yourself, your family, your friends, your community, right? You really got to do some homework now because it's getting close. The powers that be are telling us it's like just a short period of time before there's collapse. How you handle it, I mean, right? Or whether or not you believe me, you know, I'm a conspiracy guy, right? Right? Fine. Don't believe me. Just look around and see for yourself the problems that are compounding themselves weekly. None of this is a coincidence. All of this has been planned. We lost a war. We fought a world war over the last generation, and we lost that war. It was an economic war. It was a cultural, societal war. We lost, right? we will eventually bounce back. We will come back. We are going to have to reinvent ourselves, and it's going to take people like us, right? It's going to take the gearheads, the mechanics, the doers, the people who actually, you know, we believe in ourselves, we believe in our neighbors, we believe in, quote, American values, traditional. And when I say traditional, I don't mean like from a I don't care if you wear a dress. I don't care if you, it makes no difference to me. As long as, you know, none of those things. I don't care what color you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what language you speak. I don't care about any of that stuff. It means nothing to me. I care that you're a worker, that you care about your community, your family, you take care of your business. You know, you're not a nuisance. You don't get in anybody's way, or, right? See what I'm saying? That's traditional American. That's traditional American values. So I know I'm probably running off on tangents, but I know most of you guys agree with me. So this car represents where we are right now. Okay, this thing is on its way to oblivion. We are on our way to oblivion. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to get wiped out. Oh, we're going to get nuked and everything is going to get leveled. That's just fear stuff. But the way of life that we've known for the last 50 years is going to come to an end. And before we can restart ourselves, and before we can get going again and rebuild and become what that car represented when it was new, we're going to have to go through some very interesting times that are going to have some very interesting opportunities. So it's too late to save that one, right? It's too late to save that one. But and I know this is all trivial, like, you know, car stuff is trivial compared to the bigger picture. You know, baby shortage formulas, baby formula shortages, the chicken plants going down everywhere. It's like, this is a coordinated attack. This is a coordinated attack. And when I said originally, when I started this video, I says, this is kind of a risky video to make. It's not because people aren't gonna, you know, oh, I don't like when he talks about stuff like that. It's a risky video to make because, well, I mean, when that car was new, we lived in a country where anybody could speak their mind. You know, and as long as you weren't shouting fire in a crowded theater, right, your speech, your ideas, your thoughts were protected. Whether they were completely outlandish or they were like the most stable, grounded things there were, your speech was protected. And we don't live there anymore. See, we don't live there anymore. And for somebody like me who has a public forum like this, there's a good chance that, okay, he's a troublemaker, gone. It's that fast, it's that simple. So as I say, videos like this, it's a little risky to make, but I feel like I gotta make it. Do your homework, guys, right? Learn as much as you can. Learn it as fast as you can. Really start thinking, okay? Because it's gonna get real interesting. Really interesting. And you know, in China, right, the symbol for and I don't know how exactly accurate this is, but man, it's the oldest cliche in the world. The same symbol for crisis is that for opportunity. So I want you to think of it that way. We're in crisis. We are in crisis. We are in economic freefall. We're in a societal collapse. Things are going to get weird. They're going to get ugly. And then just when you think they can't get weirder or uglier, there you go. You're going to have another level of weird and ugly and crazy, right? It's all coming. I've been waiting for this for a long time, right? So this is not a surprise. Do your homework. Do what you can, right? And if you can, and you come across something like this, and if it's within your ability to do it, save that thing, right? You got your American flag, you got your American this, you drive your American car, America, America, America. Well, there's America, okay? That's really America, right? It was America, and that's what we have to get back to. We got to get back to the country and the people that built stuff like that. That to this day, 50 years later, it's still an iconic symbol of power and ingenuity and still, right? All around the world. These cars are desired all around the world. There's a reason for that. And we're going to get back to that. And I'll see you tomorrow.